right. Welcome back to the I Made My Mark podcast. Today we have Beryl Ignacio joining us to share a little bit about their time at JMU. Beryl, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, my name is Beryl Ignacio, like Megan said, and I am from Roanoke, Virginia. I'm a senior health services administration major with minors in general business and honors interdisciplinary. And my pronouns are she, her, hers.
Great. And Beryl, what organizations have you made your mark in around campus?
And so I have been involved in Madison Honors Leadership Council, UPB, student ambassadors, orientation, and mainly I would say that I made my mark in Madison Honors Leadership Council, which is who I represented for in the Madison Royal Court this past fall. I was the social chair for a little bit and I helped develop a new committee. So that was like a big deal for me. And I took like a lot of pride in my work in that organization.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
All right. And what does JMU mean to you?
So not to be super cliche, but JMU is home to me.
Mhm.
Just because it's the most I feel comfortable like being, and it's the most it's the place where I grew the most, and that is what home is supposed to be for you. You have the space to grow however you want to and however you need to, and JMU has really given me the opportunity to do that. I'm actually working on a senior portfolio project right now where I have been reflecting on my past 3.5 years here at JMU. And it's really showed me how much I've grown.
Mhm.
There's this Taylor Swift lyric that says, how does a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22?
Yes.
And yeah, and that's exactly how I feel
Mhm.
about JMU. Like I came here thinking I knew everything, and then now as I'm leaving JMU, I just feel like I I don't know anything, but in the best way possible because like I'm not cocky or anything, and I feel like JMU also has a way of humbling you,
Mhm.
and that is very important. And now I'm able to be more open-minded about my opportunities and just everyone else around me. So I feel like the word that really encompasses that is home, because that is your safe space
Yeah.
to be able to do all of that.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you for that explanation. That's awesome.
Yeah, for
And what do you think is the biggest myth that people have about JMU, and what is the reality on campus?
So I would say the biggest myth is that everyone is happy all the time.
Yeah.
And I know that's great to say. And I mean, like, Jamie does have a generally happy student population,
Mhm.
but I know, like, coming into it, at least I didn't think it this way, but I can see how a lot of people will think this way about how if they come to campus and then they're having like not such a great time and they think back to all these people saying that JMU is such a happy place, they might really like take it out on JMU
Yeah.
and blame that misconception, I guess.
Mhm.
And I don't think that people should do that. Like in reality, we're still in the real world
Yeah.
and we're still gonna have bad days,
Mhm.
and like that's not gonna change it. Like I think the reality is that we have a lot of resources at JMU that can make you like keep you happy,
Mhm.
but it's not gonna solve all your problems magically like coming here.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to allow yourself to have those bad days, like you said. Like, it's not always going to be perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. And what is an aspect of JMU that you're going to miss the most once you leave?
Definitely the people. I have made so many great connections here at JMU, and not only from like friends from freshman year, like my hallmates. I absolutely love my hall freshman year, and I would say I would credit them with my involvement and like shaped who I am
Yeah.
on campus because they were also involved. They were also on top of things, and then it made me want to be on top of things. So it's definitely true what they say, like you are who you surround yourself with. And I have just been so lucky that I feel like all of these great people have just kind of fallen into my lap.
Mhm.
And it's the same like in the classroom. I have a group of friends in health services that we just kind of like lift each other up and just kind of help each other out. Sorry, my voice is like cracking. But yeah, so we definitely are just like, it's not cutthroat. That's,
Mhm.
I would say, the environment here is just so very supportive. And I'm always going to miss that, just having that support system around me.
Yeah, definitely. That's something I feel like a lot of people have just loved is like there's an abundance of great people here and
Mm-hmm.
they really do impact you.
Yeah, and I know like we always say Dukes hold doors, but like they definitely do. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the culture here is just so very caring, more
Mhm.
than I would say I have ever seen anywhere else.
Yeah, I totally agree
Yeah,
with that. Yeah.
yeah.
And if you could give your younger self a piece of advice earlier on in your college career, what would it be and why?
I would definitely say to slow down.
Yeah.
Um, I was so involved my freshman year and I was so excited to be part of everything, which isn't bad at all. But my sophomore year, it definitely caught up to me.
Mhm.
And I definitely experienced a lot of burnout.
Yeah.
And I felt very alone in that because like all the programs at JMU is targeted towards, oh, here's how to be more involved,
Mhm.
and but nothing really said like here's why you should slow down
Yeah.
and like give yourself grace.
Mhm.
And so I was feeling like really lonely in that sense and feeling like there was something wrong with me for not wanting to be like as involved anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just would tell my freshman self like just enjoy it, don't be so like, I don't know, so uptight about it that
Mhm.
it like burns yourself out. Because burning out as a sophomore is kind of like very fast, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I would also say that so I actually have a very untraditional, I guess, like college experience because I dropped out for a semester my junior year.
Wow.
And so I would definitely tell my younger self, like, that is something that I definitely in a million years wouldn't have thought that I would have done because I'm so very used to being a student. And that's all I knew. And I was terrified to be anything but a student.
Yeah.
Um, but it, like, I took that leap of faith and I would tell my younger self that it's okay to do that too. It's okay to not stay on the path that you're expected to,
Mhm.
um, and that it will all work out in the end.
Yeah, definitely. Thank
Yeah,
you for being vulnerable and sharing that. That's
yeah, of course.
super important. That's super
Mhm.
important. And going off of that, just to wrap up all of these questions and all the amazing things you've shared so far, what do you think is the most important impact that you've made on campus and what will your legacy be?
I really just hope that I have been a mentor to at least one person. As my first year here at JMU, I had so many great mentors, and that really changed my perspective on everything. I had mentors who were always, who didn't know that they were mentoring me, that, they thought that they were just like talking to a friend about a bad grade that they got or something like that. But it's the way that they carry themselves that was so like inspirational to me. And yeah, and they were always so vulnerable to me, like, I always looked up to them and thought like, oh, they have everything together, but then they would come and like tell me that, oh, they didn't do well on this or that. And it showed me that my shortcomings aren't the definition of like who I am, and that it's okay to fail sometimes and still be a great person. So I hope that I have carried myself throughout these past like 3.5 years in the same way that those people have for me, and that someone can look at me and say that, like, oh, she doesn't have everything together, but she's still trying, and she's still like making it work, and I can do that too.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
with that attitude, you've definitely been a mentor to others. And
Oh, thank you.
hopefully, when people view this podcast and hear you, they'll get that inspiration from you as well.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And thank you so much for sharing with us today, being so vulnerable and sharing that beautiful advice. We at the Student Leadership Center wish you so much luck on your journey after JMU. And we hope you know that your JMU family will always be here to support you.
Thank you so much. Yes, that's so sweet.
All right. Thank you so much, Beryl.
Bye.
Bye.